Hello and welcome to a special post-homecoming edition of the JMU YouTube show. I'm your host, Mighty Oz. Today we'll preview this week's matchup at Georgia State University, but first, as usual, we'll reflect on last week's homecoming game versus ODU. Now, I know most of you think of me as a hard-bitten, serious journalist with vast expertise in the sports game called football, but deep down, I am also a JMU fan. And I got to tell you, this past Saturday warmed the purple cockles of my heart. My friends and I arrived at Purple Mountain Majesty Stadium about 30 minutes before kickoff. Much to everyone's surprise and dismay, my press credentials weren't recognized as official, so we ended up in general admission seats on the short side of the stadium. Well, let me tell you, that was a blessing in disguise. I was overwhelmed by the enthusiasm and the noise level. The students showed up early and made their presence known. I was especially touched during the national anthem. The a cappella rendition was superb, and the student section sing-along reverberated throughout the stadium. Oh, say can you see? We are in the midst of a new surge of student-led support for JMU football. God bless the USA. Brace yourself. It's time to announce the coveted JMU YouTube Player of the Game Award. There were several standout performances, but I took an oath to name only one player of the game, and here he is, tuba player number 16 of the Marching Royal Dukes. He hit all the right notes. His routes were precise, his execution flawless. At his post-game presser, tuba number 16 was all class. Gave the credit to his teammates, applauded the brass section, thanked the percussionists for setting the tempo, and he was right. The homecoming performance of the MRDs was tight, but tuba number 16 stood tall. And that's why he's our
JMU YouTube Tuba Player of the Game.
Now here's some serious advice coming at you from Mighty Oz. At the next home game, listen for the 1-hour warning cannon and pack up that tailgate. Get in the stadium early, because if you're not in your seat, you're missing a treat. The MRDs are phenomenal. The talent is undeniable, and the sheer size of this band is overwhelming. A few states to the west, the Buckeye Band may be famous for dotting the I in Ohio, but give me the Marching Royal Dukes dotting the I in Madison on any given Saturday. Okay, as for the game itself, sure, much closer than expected against ODU, but on the other hand, this is fantastic. You see, we have got ourselves a bona fide rivalry now, complete with a handsome trophy, which, by the way, we won. Now, I know you want me to do a deep dive into the X's and O's because of my football expertise, but I'm really here to review the one most important stat of the entire season. You see, your JMU Dukes began the season 0-0. After game 1, they were 1-0. After 2 weeks, they were After another successful game, your JMU Dukes are a sterling 8-0. This is astounding, really. I mean, JMU has won 11 in a row. We're 16-3 after transitioning to FBS football and undefeated this season. And yet, the NCAA in its infinite wisdom says JMU isn't quite ready for prime time. Well, give me a freaking break. All right, let's take a look ahead to this week's opponent, Georgia State University, located in Atlanta. It was founded in 1913 as a night school for Georgia Tech, but today it's one of the biggest research universities in Georgia with 50,000 students. This Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, it's undefeated and 23rd ranked JMU at 6-2 GSU. Catch all the action on ESPN2 or at the stadium. Speaking of the stadium, the Georgia State football team plays in Centennial Olympic Stadium, which was converted to Turner Field for the Atlanta Braves and then became a 25,000 seat college football venue. Let's call it a Richard Jewell of a stadium. And you'll find it smack dab in the middle, I believe, of Peach Blossom Plaza at the intersection of Peachtree Street and Peach Pit Avenue. I think. Might want to use your GPS just to be sure. Now, the Panthers are coached by a man named Sean Elliott. I'm guessing he's ex WWE because he lays a few spine busters on his players, then fires up the team pregame by taking out the ball boy with a reverse slingshot suplex. All right, GSU is coming off a lopsided loss to Georgia Southern last week, but they are a dangerous team, GSU that is. They're dangerous. The Panthers, they're 6-2, and they use that same double stack receiver formation that gave us so much trouble versus ODU. So, my all-seeing Mighty Oz algorithm expects a win, but a close one. Count on this. Saturday against GSU, it'll be JMU 27, GSU 21. How's that sound, Mini Oz?
Okay. Lukewarm lock of the week.
Once again, thank you for watching the JM YouTube show. And I want to pass along some good news on the subscriber front. We busted the century mark last week. We're now at around 117 and counting. Scott, the producer, I'd like you to send a nice prize to the 100th subscriber, please.
Yeah, we don't have any prizes, and I have no way of knowing who the...
No excuses, Scott. Just make it happen. And here's some more good news. Shelby of Atlanta, JMU class of 1980, has been officially appointed Director of Subscriber Recruitment in Georgia. Thanks for all the hard work, Shelby. And thanks to you, again, for watching and for becoming a subscriber. Our goal is 1,000 because a man can dream, and let's go do